My name is GianCarlo Lay. I play the soprano sax in the LOTUS Quartet. The past two ensembles that I was in for the Fischoff Chamber Music Organization was Quantum Quartet. It's a saxophone quartet, and we competed in 2020. And then another saxophone quartet in 2021 called the Aurelian Quartet. My first experience with Fischoff was in 2020, and I was with the Quantum Quartet. All the way up until, the coronavirus outbreak, we were preparing very rigorously for Fischoff. We were memorizing music, we were doing staging, and I think that preparation itself just for the competition was almost endearing when I think back to it, like how focused and driven we were as musicians. And it was a very similar process actually the next year with the Aurelian Quartet. This time it was actually prepared throughout the pandemic, and so we had some hoops to jump through as far as rehearsing goes. We had to find rehearsal spaces that could fit us 6 feet apart and everything. So just navigating that journey was really interesting, and we learned a lot about how to work around things as artists. This past year for LOTUS Quartet, we really got to go full out with our preparation. We got to rehearse normal spaces, breathe in the same space as one another without worry. And I think just preparing for the competition itself is really exciting and really fun. This year was the first year I got to go to Indiana and play on that Fischoff stage. Man, I must say it was definitely one for the books. It was just so exciting, and it felt like such a full circle moment. As a young musician starting out on saxophone, you see all these videos on YouTube of these insane chamber musicians who are, Fischoff medalists or just performing in the semifinals. And you see them on this exquisite stage, and you're like, man, one day I want that to be me. And here I am today. I got to perform on that stage with the LOTUS Quartet, and I couldn't be more thankful. One of the things I enjoy the most about competing in general, but specifically about Fischoff, is preparing the music. Because during all of that time you're preparing music, you're also spending time with friends, you're also speaking with one another, you're communicating to each other through music. And so I think that's really an important part of who I want to be as an artist, is a communicator, really. And so through the Fischoff journey, I've really gotten to be just that, is I've gotten to communicate with so many people. I've gotten to really fine-tune my communication skills as a chamber musician. So I think that's really why I want to pursue music past the academic setting, is because I want to be a communicator of things. And I think that my medium for doing that is music, and I was able to discover that part of myself by doing Fischoff, by doing saxophone quartet, and by doing chamber music.
When you were competing in the junior division, there was a video of you breakdancing.
Yes.
To Memory. And so I wanted to get your reaction to that.
Oh, gosh.
On camera.
Oh. Yeah. Those pants were way too tight on me. Nice. Yeah. Here comes the signature move. Boom. Oh yeah, they loved it. Boom. No break. Wow. So a lot of people don't know, but right after this part of the video is like a really long alto solo thing with no breaks in it. So I was just out of breath and playing this whole thing. I don't know how I pulled it off. That's just so nostalgic for me. Wow. Thank you for showing me that.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
I'm not going to make you break dance.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's great. Wow. Those were good times. Those were really good times.